Hello, I'm Kari K. Steele, President of the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago Board of Commissioners. On behalf of my fellow board members, Executive Director Brian Perkovich, the MWRD family, the City of Chicago, the Water Environment Federation, and the water professionals of Chicago, I would like to cordially invite you to WEFTEC 2021. We know the pandemic disrupted many of our lives and made it impossible for us to gather in New Orleans this year. But these unprecedented times have also reminded us of the importance of our work. Like other utilities across the world, we at the MWRD continue reporting to work each day around the clock to ensure that our essential services keep operating smoothly. The MWRD is the agency responsible for wastewater treatment and stormwater management for an equivalent population of 10 million people in Cook County. Our mission includes protecting Lake Michigan, our region's water supply source. We take immense pride working the front lines to protect our regional water environment. Honestly, we don't know what life will look like in 2021, but we want you to know that when called upon, Chicago will be ready. In 2019, we had more than 22,000 water professionals come to the shores of Lake Michigan to share their knowledge and develop innovative solutions to the many 21st century issues facing water. We hope life will return to normal by 2021 so that you can take in the sights and sounds of our renewed and reinvigorated great city. Chicago is also the city where the MWRD reversed the flow of the Chicago River, built a monumental tunnel and reservoir system, and established innovative ways to recover valuable resources from used water. WEFTEC is the largest annual water and wastewater exhibition in the world. Dozens of workshops and hundreds of technical sessions with leading industry professionals bring us together to discuss topics vital to the water sector and the latest challenges of the day. Events like WEFTEC are critical as we adapt to the new frontier of service, technology, and operations. With that said, you should not miss WEFTEC 2021. From all of the WEFTEC organizers, presenters, exhibitors, the City of Chicago, and the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago, we look forward to proving our resilience and seeing you at WEFTEC, hopefully in person in 2021. Hi, I'm Kari K. Steele, President of the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago. We are the agency that treats wastewater and manages stormwater for the Chicago region. We were created in 1889 to protect the source of our drinking water, Lake Michigan, and we've been on the cutting edge of innovation ever since. As a leading environmental agency, we are now recovering valuable resources from the water we treat. We are also working to reduce our energy use and have instituted a variety of creative means to reach that goal. These efforts will reduce greenhouse gases, promote a cleaner water environment, and provide a return on investment that will benefit taxpayers. It's an exciting time to be part of a governmental agency that is able to create resources out of what was previously considered waste. If you're interested in the work we do, we invite you to tour our facilities or email us and give us a call to find out what's going on in the exciting world of water.
The MWRD treats and discharges over 1 billion gallons of water per day on average, and the treated water can be used for a lot of purposes. Though it's not quite drinking water, it can be used in place of drinking water for processes such as industrial cooling, cleaning, and irrigation. Use of the clean water at our facilities saves a considerable amount of energy and money and reduces the demand for drinking water. Here at the Stickney plant, we use about 6 million gallons per day for our internal purposes.
We're here at the Solids Management Facility, one of many we have at the Water Reclamation District. Here we receive the organic matter, which is the residual from the wastewater treatment process. That organic matter, called biosolids, comes to these facilities, and we further process it into a premium compost product or air-dried product to be used on baseball fields, golf courses, all different types of end uses.
We are not only harvesting nutrients, we are harvesting organic matter, which soils need in order to function properly. Soil is an ecosystem. In order for the ecosystem to operate properly, it needs nutrients and organic matter, and biosolids supply that.
Biosolids provide an array of nutrients, including macro and micronutrients like calcium and iron, which turf grass is able to absorb and helps make it more resistant to foot traffic. For a park like Maggie Daly, where there's lots of kids playing and other pedestrians, it's important for the turf grass to be resistant to that impact.
We're at the Calumet Water Reclamation Plant anaerobic digester complex. The digesters take in the organic material that is removed from the treatment process and break it down into smaller, simpler components, very much like our stomachs break down food. We have capacity in our digesters here to take on more organic material that are waste from places like dairies or breweries, ethanol production plants, food plants, places where they have wastewater that contains organic material. We can increase the feeding capacity from the current feed rate of about 800,000 gallons a day, adding another 100,000 to 200,000 gallons a day, increasing our digester gas production up to about 1,700 cubic feet a day, about a 60% increase. That's enough natural gas to heat about 900 homes. Or, because it's going to be turned into vehicle fuel, that's enough compressed natural gas that's the equivalent of about 11,000 gallons of gasoline per day. So that's roughly enough to power 20 cars for an entire year.
We are currently in our Phosphorus Recovery facility, the world's largest of this type. The district had realized that phosphorus is a non-renewable resource out there that is slowly dwindling within the global economy. Currently, most of it is mined as phosphate rock out of Morocco. Next 20 or so years, that commodity will no longer be there, and without phosphorus, we don't have life. By removing this phosphorus, not only do we remove it from our effluent, which is going to our receiving streams, by doing that, we improve the quality of the receiving streams. So in addition to that, we'll be recovering a fertilizer type product that'll be able to be utilized in place of regular fertilizer.
It can be used in nurseries. It has a good potential as a slow release fertilizer. So it's like another source of phosphorus or nutrient contamination to the rivers and waterways is from runoff. The benefit of a slow release product is it's not releasing phosphorus unnecessarily. It's releasing only as the plants are drawing it up. So it's being put to the right use.
I'm at the greenhouse research facility at the O'Brien Water Reclamation Plant, where we're doing research on using algae to uptake nutrients from wastewater. This is a technology called Revolving Algae Biofilm Reactor. It was designed by two scientists at Iowa State University. It was originally designed for agriculture applications, and we are applying it here in a unique application for wastewater treatment. The wastewater contains the nutrients, nitrogen, phosphorus, which algae needs to grow. The concept using algae for removing nutrients is that the algae can then be reused in some manner, turned into usable products like fertilizer or bioplastics, fish food, bioacids, industrial dyes. So we are putting algae to work for us to recover the phosphorus, to put it back into the economy, back into the cycle, and create useful products.
We are here on the Kari Water Reclamation Plant, which we're using the constant temperature of our sewer system to reduce the cost of the heating and cooling by approximately 40% in the administration portion of that plant. Every home has the AC system in it. When you're looking at the bill in the summer, you notice how high it is, how much you have to pay in the summer, but that mostly is related always to the condensing unit. Instead of the condensing unit outside with the noisy fan, which you guys hear every day, we have, in our case, we're using effluent water to cool the refrigerant down and in the summer, or heat refrigerant up in the winter. We're using the free effluent water, always under constant temperature, for our benefits.
Here at the Lockport Powerhouse, we've been generating clean hydroelectric power since 1907. The Lockport Powerhouse is located about 35-40 miles from downtown Chicago. It's at the end of what we know as the Chicago Sanitary Ship Canal. The building itself, the powerhouse itself, stretches most of the way across the canal because we are also a movable dam. We have gates here that we use for flood control or water diversion. We have 9 gates here that we open periodically during a storm event. The reason why we have the Lockport Powerhouse located where it's at is because there is a 38-foot differential between where the water enters the powerhouse or the turbine chamber versus the discharge side, which is the tail race or the backside of the powerhouse that leads to the Des Plaines River. The renewable energy that we generate here is good for our environment and the economy.
Solar hot water system at Egan used to reduce the energy cost in the amount of $12,000 per year, and we use this energy to heat our water. The whole purpose of the project to bring the green technology to the wastewater treatment plant. The solution is being heated here. That antifreeze solution is being heated here, and that heat is later on goes downstairs and transferred to the other loop which has got the hot water tank. So we are gaining 2 things, one is reducing the carbon emission, plus we are saving some money.
Our efforts to recover resources and transform water are possible because of a wide range of skilled professionals. Our staff is key for the success of new projects, and they are vital to our daily operations, ensuring that our natural resources thrive and the Chicago region is a better place to live. We are improving water quality in area rivers and streams while protecting more than 5 million people from flooding. We are always looking for talented professionals who share our passion for innovation and quality service.
My name is Aruch Puntpaya, and I am the operations manager here at the O'Brien Water Reclamation Plant. This plant was originally called Northside, and it was built to serve residents in areas north of downtown Chicago. Since the plant opened in 1928, both the service area and the population we serve have nearly doubled in size and numbers. The water that goes down your toilet, sinks, and drains eventually comes to us to be cleaned. All of this water flows through your community's local sewers into our interceptor sewers, and then eventually to our water reclamation plants, where we clean the water and reclaim other valuable resources. The goal at our facilities is to reduce contaminants in water, such as suspended solids, biodegradable organic matter, pathogenic bacteria, and nutrients. Such contaminants are removed during 3 major phases of treatment: primary, secondary, and tertiary.
This is where the 3 main sewers that come into the treatment plant converge and flow into the plant. The core screens are here to protect the main sewage pumps of the treatment plant and screen out material that is larger than about 4.5 inches in width. They stop pretty much anything that can fit into a sewer and flow into a treatment plant. We've seen timbers, 2x4s, car tires, anything that might come and plug up one of our large pumps gets removed at this process. After the screens, the water is pumped We have 6 raw sewage pumps here, anywhere from 75 million gallons a day to 130 million a day capacity. This is where the water is lifted into the plant. At this point, once the water is lifted, it's gravity flow through the remainder of the treatment processes.
Once the water is pumped up, it flows from the pump house to aerated grit tanks and primary settling tanks, where we use physical and mechanical means to remove fats and oils and to separate solids from the wastewater.
So these are called aerated grit tanks. What's happening is the air is being bubbled from the bottom to keep the organics and other organic material in suspension. The heavier sand and inorganic material falls to the bottom of the tank. And then there's a collector blade here, these paddles that you see behind me that are scraping the flow into the middle of the tank. From there it's being removed as a slurry to be dewatered and put into a dumpster, which gets hauled off by our scavenger service for disposal. The next step after this is fine screens, where we're removing any debris similar to the coarse screens, sent to a dumpster to be removed by our scavenger service and disposed of. This should be the bulk of any inorganic material between the grit and the fine screens that come into the plant are physically removed here. The screened and degritted water flows into primary tanks. These basins hold approximately 1 million gallons and are about 15 feet deep. What's happening here is the water is being held for about 2 hours. The heavy organic solids settle to the bottom during that time.
The cleaner water leaves the primary settling tanks and moves on to step 2, secondary treatment. The solids that have settled throughout our primary and secondary treatment processes are still very wet, which allows us to pump them through 16 miles of pipes to the Stickney Water Reclamation Plant. At Stickney, the solids from O'Brien go into temperature-controlled digesters where microorganisms break them down in a process similar to composting. After digestion, the solids pass through centrifuges, which work like washing machines, spinning at high speeds to remove additional liquid. The resulting drier solids are aged and air-dried to reduce moisture content even further. Some of the resulting biosolids are mixed with wood chips to create EQ compost, which is a sustainable soil amendment. Our compost and biosolids have been used at golf courses, athletic fields, parks and recreational facilities, agricultural fields, forests, and for restoration of strip mines and other disturbed lands.
Standing at the beginning of the secondary treatment process. At this point, the primary treatment process has removed all the inorganic material and a lot of the heavy organics that will settle out by gravity. Now we start the secondary treatment process. We use an activated sludge process here where we grow bacteria, we feed it air, and I like to think of this as a farm. We grow bacteria as our crop or our livestock. The bugs get fat and happy. They'll settle out in the next step of the secondary treatment process. Those bugs are recycled at the front of the aeration battery. The clear water comes over the top, and that moves on to the next treatment process. This is a final settling tank. This is the last step of the secondary treatment process. What we're trying to do here is settle out the heavy solids. The bacteria has grown, it's gotten heavy, it's what we call flocculating and clumped together. It settles out at the bottom of the tank. Clean water goes over the top of the tank, over these weirs. The water from here flows into the next step, tertiary treatment. Within the district, that could be chlorination or filtration. And in the case of the O'Brien Water Reclamation Plant, we are using UV disinfection. There are 7 UV channels here. Each channel has 2 banks of bulbs, and each bank has 64 lamps. So there are a total of 896 light bulbs here. Each bulb is approximately 1,000 watts of power. So this facility at peak flow consumes almost a megawatt of electricity, 896,000 watts of power to power all these light bulbs. Each light bulb costs around $750. So as you can see, there's a lot of money invested here. Each lamp is approximately 7 feet long. We use the term inactivation. We're not actually killing the bacteria here. This UV process inactivates it and prevents it from replicating. which for all intents and purposes kills the bacteria. It can't produce any more. Compared to the traditional chlorine disinfection that the district uses, obviously there's no chemicals involved in it. There's no byproducts in the waterway from the reaction of chlorine. We're just using light bulbs and electricity. It's also a very fast process. The bacteria is instantaneously inactivated as it passes through the light, the intense light that the water goes through. Our effluent quality is determined by our NPDES permit. That permit is issued by the Illinois EPA. That defines the standards, the quality of our effluent to the environment. By this point, we've removed 99% plus of the contaminants in the water. We're at the end of our treatment process here in the plant. You know, the district water reclamation plants are kind of replicating what happens in nature. But what nature takes weeks or months to do, treating wastewater, there's naturally occurring bacteria in the streams that break down pollutants and clean the water naturally. Those processes take weeks, months, even years sometimes. The district and these water reclamation plants concentrate that into a process that takes about 12 to 24 hours. So what nature does in weeks and months, we can replicate here in 12 to 24 hours.
I know toilet paper has been hard to find, but please know, flushing alternative products instead of toilet paper is a bad idea. Remember, no wipes, down the pipes. We manage more than 1 billion gallons of wastewater every day. We know what we're talking about when it comes to drainage and pipes. Everything that goes down the pipes of your house or business comes to the MWRD to be cleaned. We want to help ensure that your pipes don't get clogged and can drain that dirty water away from your house. Treating your toilet like a trash can could clog the plumbing inside your home or cause blockages in your neighborhood sewer. Clogs can cause sewer backups and expensive property damage. Basement backups can also make you sick. Please do not flush anything other than toilet paper to avoid potential plumbing problems. I'll quickly show you what happens to various products that people have been flushing instead of toilet paper. Here we have facial tissue. It's kind of like toilet paper, but it's not. Throw it in the trash can because it's not flushable. And here's a sheet of paper towel. This is meant to absorb water without falling apart. It's durable and will not break down in pipes. And it could quickly cause blockages in your pipes. It's not flushable. Now this is a so-called flushable wipe. These wipes are similar to paper towels. It will not break apart and it's not flushable. And now we have disinfectant wipes. We're using them to clean our house a lot nowadays. These are designed to be sturdy and not fall apart while you use them. So guess what? They're not flushable. Now one more item I've been hearing about is fabric and cut up t-shirts. Here's some toilet paper. As you can see, the toilet paper is slightly dissolving and breaking apart as intended. This makes it easier for it to flow through small pipes without getting stuck. Toilet paper is the only product designed to safely move through your home's pipes without causing any major problems. Please don't flush anything else. Remember, no wipes, down the pipes.